Hey, hello, everybody. Welcome to Real Talk Live with Arnette D. Love. And of course, we have my sister, my assistant, Lisa. And let me make sure we got everybody in this shot. Yeah, there we go. We are so glad to be able to come to you on today. We got caught up at another event as usual, but we're not going to let a Sunday go by that we do not come to you and talk story with you. We are going to have some people lined up for the show, but whether we got people lined up or we just come to speak, we're going to do the thing. That's what we're going to do.
And I was on time today.
We're going to do the thing. She was on time, but we ended up at the other event. And so we were on time. We just had another event that we had to get to. So today's topic is going to be stay focused. We just want to remind you that whatever it is that you're trying to get to, what you're trying to do, what your goal, your mission is, you have to stay focused. Because, man, let me tell you something. People will knock you off of your track. They will knock you out of that avenue that you need to be on. And if you don't stay focused, you will wind up calling yourself, helping somebody else, and harming your own self. You know what I'm saying? Getting off track from what you need to do because you're so tied up and trying to do what you do, and that's to love on people and help others and stuff like that. And it's okay to do that, but you have to stay focused on your own goal. Go ahead, Lisa.
That's what I'm saying. Because some people, like you said, get you off your focus, and a lot of them take your kindness for weakness, and they play on that. So it's very important to say you don't get sidetracked, and be careful because everyone is not your friend. Everyone is not there to help you. Some people want you off the focus because they only want to use you. So you have to be very careful.
But what gets me is some people would do anything, baby, to manipulate. You know what I'm saying? They'll start telling you stuff. They know, because the enemy uses these folks. Yeah. So they know what your triggers are. They know how to get to you and get you thinking. They know how your mind, goes. Oh, so you did this, so that person did this. Okay, we're going to nip this in the bud right quick. This is what we're going to do or what we not going to do. You see what I'm saying? Now, all of a sudden, you done took something positive, and because somebody fed you something negative, your entire focus is off. You know what I'm saying? But that's why, you have to always have a sounding board. You always have to have somebody that's going to come back and say, wait a minute, think about this. If this didn't happen, this wouldn't have happened. Or if this had happened, this would have happened. Remember, if they didn't have this over here to deal with, they wouldn't have had this over here to do it. I mean, you always got to have somebody with you that's going to give you the pros and the cons. And right now, you got me and you got Lisa. We giving you the pros and cons. We letting you know you got to look at the whole entire picture, the whole big picture.
Big picture, yeah.
The big picture. And you got to remember, some people just pop in your life for a reason, a season. You know what I'm saying? And then they gone.
Sometimes you got to take the time to put yourself in others' shoes. Why did this person come to me? Or I haven't seen this person around for a minute. And, why would you all of a sudden come out of nowhere and tell me something that, you could set me off or get me unfocused,
We hadn't talked in a long time, and now all of a sudden you appear.
It's something behind it. What's behind it? What would be the reason?
Because just because you're the type of person, and I am, you don't really hold grudges. Now the thing is, when the bridge is burnt, like we talked before, y'all, when I done blew up that bridge, the bridge is blown up. I really don't have nothing to say to you. It's not even going to be any conversation. It's going to be a hi and a bye, be courteous. But we know that I don't do you Y'all know what y'all like to use, that curse word, but we know that I don't do you. And so that's going to be it. But if there's any place where, or a time where or you and I just cordially parted, and we hadn't talked for a long time, and then all of a sudden, you appear. Yeah, I'm thinking, what's going on? We still cool and everything, but I have to make sure that nothing is being done to take me off of my focus. You know what I'm saying? Because I have to stay focused for what's best for me, like you have to stay focused for what's best for you, and understand that nobody is going to care about what's best for you when they're trying to fulfill their agenda. They're not going to care about what's best for you. I repeat, nobody is going to care about what's best for you when they are trying to fulfill their agenda. Okay?
And you got to be cautious of people who will come and put little bugs in your ear, to make you lose focus of what you're doing, because that's one reason I think God tell us to be slow to anger, because if someone think they can say something to you that would distract you and get you, say for example, they know I'm talking to someone, and they come to me and they say, well, that person said this and they did this about you, and and so then you, instead of you confronting the person or addressing the situation, you automatically believe this person that's in your ear, and you get unfocused. You got to be watchful of things like that.
Our grandma used to always say, a dog that brings a bone carries a bone. So which means a person that'll come and tell you something negative about one person will go and to that person or someone else and tell them something negative about you. So do not be thinking you're the only one they're doing this to, or the only one they're talking to, or so-called hooking you up with tea and all that stuff, because just like they come to you, they're going to take something to somebody else, okay? And so you have to remember that, and it's so easy to lose focus, and not, keep that thought in mind that, hey, this could be some mess going on, just to manipulate me so they can get what they want, and people do it all the time. Let me tell you something. Just the other day, somebody asked me to go to an event with them, accompany to an event. Really, it was me taking them to the event, right? It was an event that I really probably didn't even believe in, shouldn't been there. I know I really didn't care to be there, but because I'm the type of person that want to help people, had agreed to go to the event. And then after I spoke to my sounding board, they were like, no, you don't need to go to that event. You don't need to be around nobody there, because that ain't where you need to be. That's not your area. That's not your mode of operation. You don't do that, and you need to call them right now so they can find them another ride to the event. And so when I did that, I realized that the only reason I was invited to the event is, just like I said, just so they can get to the event, just for a ride. I would have preferred you just ask, could you drop me off at the event and come back and get me? I would have dropped them off and went right back and got them. You didn't have to ask me to be there and, try to psych me up and stuff like that.
Because people will spin things.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when I told them, they was like, oh, I can understand that. Well, you couldn't understand it last night when you was asking me to take you? Because all you had to do is say, can you drop me off? I've been glad to drop them off. I want to stay. I could have explained my position better, just dropping them off and picking them up, than trying to be out there with them and know I was uncomfortable and shouldn't have been there. But see, that's why you have to stay focused, because people will put you in positions that are not good for you if you allow them to, but it's only to benefit them. To me, you always be selfish when it comes to what's best for you. Always be selfish. You want to be a selfless person. You want to serve other people. But when people are not thinking about what's best for you, who's going to do it if you don't?
Yeah, because if it's going to hurt you, why would you want to take that risk?
But that's what we do. That's what we do, and we have to stop doing it. We have to start thinking about ourselves. staying focused to what we need in our own game. You know what I'm saying? So we just want to put that out there to stay focused. Whatever it is you're trying to get, like some of you are trying to build businesses, empires, entrepreneurship. You're trying to stay focused and stop telling everybody. You can't trust everybody. They take your idea, go do it better than you. You see what I'm saying? To take your name, as long as they can pay for it first and get on that site first, it's theirs. You can't use it. Stop telling all your business, telling all your hopes and your dreams, and just go do it. You know, because you can't trust everybody. You know.
Even God said, "Don't let your right hand know what your let your left hand know what your right hand doing." You know, so be careful.
So, you know, just like, let's just use, for instance, Tyler Perry. I'm going to use him. Because, I mean, I don't know who's telling the truth. I haven't really heard him deny it. But I remember the man was saying how Tyler Perry took Medea from a show that he used to do in the club. And that was his character. And they said, you know, Tyler Perry making big money off of the character. You see what I'm saying? Now, I don't know how true it is, but I do know the man boldly made a video about it, and then he was in one of Tyler Perry movies. He definitely was. He was in that movie, I Can Do Bad by Myself, with, what's that girl name? Taraji P. Henson. He was in that movie. He was the announcer. I remember when he called her out to come sing, and she came out, baby.
Yeah.
That was him.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He was the same man that said Tyler Perry took his character. Wow. The guns and everything. You see what I'm saying? So you just can't trust people. And everybody probably had a Medea in their house or in their family at one point. Or something like a Medea. You know what I'm saying? I mean, our grandmother was something. I mean, she really wasn't a Medea, but she could have been a character, because the way she used to act, honey, she didn't care about nothing. And she meant what she said, and it was like whatever she said was right. It didn't matter if she was wrong. You're not gonna convince her that she's wrong, you know. I mean, she didn't even believe the doctors. She said the doctors don't know everything. That's why they're practicing medicine. They don't know everything, and da. And I'm like, but grandma, most of the time they can pinpoint something. They don't know everything. So what I'm saying is, even though they may have characteristics of that character, you putting more into the storyline by telling your business, by telling your dreams, by telling your vision. You got to stay focused on you, and you got to remember, you share everything. Do it first, then go share it. Because people are in the stealing business. And they're not calling it stealing, they calling their ideas. That's their ideas. They thought about it, and you enhanced it, and they put it all together, and bam, it's now copywritten, trademarked. You know, I don't tell everything. You know, I make up a lot of stuff. We talking about what we get ready to do next. Now, I can tell you this is about to be a movie based on my book. You can't take that. I mean, you can if you want to, but we're going to go to court if there's any similarities about it. Now, I ain't fighting over that. We're going to fight in court. But I'm just saying, there is going to be a movie on my book that is copywritten. And, you know, somebody probably got the same story as I have. And that's fine. That's fine. So you have to be careful what you share. We got another movie we going to make, you know, but we're not going to share it. So what I'm saying is, stay focused, stay in your own lane, and the Word of God tells us to mind our business. I believe it's in 1 Thessalonians, I want to say the 4th chapter, I believe. That's where you find it right off the top of my head. And it tells you to mind your own business. The Word of God tells you that. Meaning, you stay out of other folks' business and just mind yours. And if you mind your own business, I bet you get more done. I bet you can get more done. You sit right here like me. Once I finish with this here, I'm going to mind my own business. And guess how much I'm going to get done. And by the time it is time for me to be out where I need to be on Tuesday, I'm going to be prepared.
That's right.
Because I'm already preparing myself previously. You get ready or stay ready so you don't have to get ready. That's what it is. Just stay ready so you don't have to get ready. In order to stay ready, you have to somehow prepare to be ready. Y'all get that? Yes, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. In order to get ready, you have to prepare at some time to be ready. Love told y'all that. Don't forget it now. Don't forget it. Minding your own business. Mind the what they say, mind the business that pays you.
Or minding my business and leaving yours alone.
Staying focused on what you have to do. Staying focused on your part of the process. Because everything we go through is a process. Something's going to happen. It's going to start somewhere. It's going to finish somewhere. Everything in between is the process. Okay, so we have to stay focused on our process. I don't know who this is for because most of the time when I talk about something, it's for somebody. Whether it be for me or somebody else, it's for somebody. So please take heed to this thing here. Don't let people use you because they're going to try to. Any way that people can get to you to get you manipulated into doing what they want you to do, they're going to use you. Go ahead.
And that includes family.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have to say that because I have seen family do that.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be wary of everyone.
Y'all know what gets me though? When you see a person, and I don't like to talk about people. I'm going to tell y'all right now. I talk my trash. I do. I talk a lot of trash, baby. Y'all ain't seen nothing on my shows. I talk a lot of trash. But one thing I would barely do is talk about folks. Now, I might call you what you are. If you are slow, if you are an idiot, if you act like something is wrong with you, I will call what I see, but I'm not going to talk about you. But one thing that I can't stand is for someone who have proven themselves to be weak, try to put me in that same position or predicament that they're in. You're weak. I identify weakness. You can't put me in a weak state. Meaning I won't follow you. You can't influence me. You have proven yourself to be a weak individual. How in the world do you think you're going to lead a strong type A lioness like me? You can't. You can't. And that really burns me up because I call it what's that term that we used to hear a lot of time, playing on my intelligence. That's what I call it. You're playing on my intelligence because you're trying to act as if I am weaker than your weak self. And you know if you're weak, let me give you some pointers to see if you're a weak individual. Now, this is your test. You need to test it out. These are pointers to identify whether or not you're a weak individual. You will allow a person to cuss you out, talk to you any kind of way, and even if you decide you're not going to argue back, you don't cut them off. Weak. There's nothing strong about that. There's nothing strong about that. Even in the workplace, there are ramifications for being disrespected and harassed. So if you don't do something about it, you're showing weakness. You legit complaints. Even I don't care if it's a mom and pop establishment. There are laws to how you are to be treated. So if you have to go outside of that establishment to get the respect that you rightfully deserve, that is what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely. That's why they have the EEOC for jobs.
Be courageous.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, now, if you're not getting a paycheck and you dealing with that foolishness, you are weak. Mm-hmm. I will not follow you. I will not look up to you. I will not. You are weak. There's no strength in that. The Word of God don't tells us to be strong and courageous. They don't tell us to tuck our heads between our legs and walk away. You're weak. I won't follow you. So that's one way. If people talking to you any kind of way, cussing you out and stuff like that, you're weak. The second thing is, if you allow people to bully you, if you allow people to use their money to influence you to do what it is they want you to do, you're weak. That's a weakness. Yeah. Because this is the thing. If you offer me your money, you offer me your coins for something, I'm going to believe that you are just positive that I'm going to make the best decision, that I'm going to do what it is necessary to make sure that the outcome is positive for all parties. I'm believing that you're trusting my decision-making process. I'm not taking your money because I'm going to be bossed around and bullied and I'm going to do what you want me to do. I'm not taking your money for that. I'm taking your money because I believe that you believe in me.
And some people use money as a way. They want people to want them or want to use, how can I say? They want people to need them just so they can say no. I mean, I don't know if you ever encountered that. People that have money or so, but they feel like they want somebody to need them just so they can say no or they can hold it over them.
I don't know, but that what I'm identifying is what makes a person weak.
That do put them in a weak position.
Well, no, because what it does is, okay, I guess from the you're talking about from the other side though.
Right.
You putting the other person feeling superior.
Right.
But I don't want to identify the superior.
I got you.
I want to identify, because if you got any qualifications so people can identify whether or not they're weak or not. Mm-hmm. I don't want to confuse them. Mm-hmm. I want to give it to them from the weak side. So you let people cuss you out. You let people persuade you to do what they want to do because they're giving you their money. See, that's all you did was say
it's
the
the
opposite.
Same thing. I just said it.
Don't say it on that side. We want people to identify if they're weak.
Right.
So what else that you might have to identify a weakness? So they cussing you out and you doing nothing and you don't cut them off. They giving you money to do what they want you to do, which means when they call you up and say, I need you to do this, that, and the other, you jump to it because you're letting them rule you and bully you because they have money. Which in turn, what you're saying makes them feel superior. Okay? But I don't even want to talk about them because I don't do bullies at all. I never have. Even as a child, I've never done bullies. I never had any respect for a bully. Nothing. If I wasn't running for the campaign, I would tell y'all what I really feel about bullies. I have no respect for them at all. So, and what I want to do here is identify things that makes you weak so that if you're doing this, you will stand up for yourself and say, hey, wait a minute. I am not this person. Because sometimes we don't even know we're doing things. Now, some of us do, but some of us don't realize that, hey, what I'm doing makes me look weak. Who won't respect me? My kids. Okay, if you're doing something, another thing, if you're doing something that you cannot be proud about, you cannot stand up and let your wife or your kids know that you're doing because you're ashamed, that's weakness. You shouldn't be doing it. If somebody putting you in that predicament, making you feel like you can't be proud of something, that you're identifying, you're showing weakness. Mm-hmm.
Is that like being in a relationship that's abusive or so, and your children seeing you be abused or talked down on or so? that's showing them weakness. So and then it becomes a pattern for them as they get older. Is that what you're saying?
And to be honest with you, it is. It's so sad because it's not just weakness. It's a lot of times it's fear, but it takes strength. It takes strength to overcome fear. Okay, weakness keeps you there. Strength gets you away from there. And you get. I'm a Christian, so I get my strength through prayer. But my thing is with and I'm gonna tell you about the abusiveness, those type relationships. They come on a lot of times slowly but surely. It'll be little stuff first, and then it escalates, and that is why we have to, whether you're male or female, doesn't matter. We have to identify the red flags in the beginning and get gone. See, a lot of times we feel like we can't do any better, so we stay. And we stay through the small incidents. We stay through the insults. We stay through the little pushing and stuff like that. And the cussing you out on the slide. Then next thing you know, in front of your friends, they embarrassing you, saying little slick stuff in front of you, okay? They saying little slick stuff to you in front of your friends, embarrassing you. And you're keeping all that because really in your mind, you're thinking this the best it gets and you can't do anything else. But the strength, you have to have strength to say, you know what, I am not going to allow this to get any worse. I'm going to leave right now before this gets worse because I don't deserve this. I deserve so much more, and I know that. So you have to first know your worth. And when you know your worth, that strength on top of that will get you out of there in the beginning. And they can go do that stuff on somebody else. You see what I'm saying? Before it gets to where they know, oh, she ain't going nowhere, or he's not going anywhere. And then before you know it, you done got yourself a case number because they done hit you and you done about killed them. Because you done had too much of it. So you have to identify the red flags, and you can't ignore the red flags. And that's why, for real, I don't care how much I like a person, I pay attention to the red flags. I might flirt, I might keep it going, I might keep talking, but I'm paying attention to those red flags because I already know if you're telling me you don't like this, you don't want me to wear makeup. I'm wearing my makeup as we speak. You see what I'm saying? I'm still putting my makeup on daily because I be doggone if you're going to tell me what I'm going to put on. I'm not walking out of here barefaced unless I want to be barefaced. Okay, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be feeling unattractive because you don't want me to wear makeup. You don't tell me what to do, not ever will you tell me what to do. As long as you understand that we're going to have the perfect combination. That's the first thing. You can make suggestions. We can come to a consensus, but you're not going to just tell me I don't like women that wear makeup. Buddy, you can kick rocks because I wear makeup. See, red flags. You see what they can get away with. Well, I told her she can't wear no makeup. I don't like makeup, so she don't wear it. See, I don't wear eyelashes anyway. Well, lashes and all that stuff. I don't wear all that stuff. I don't really get my nails done. I get my feet done. But so that right there is already a given. It's nothing nobody telling me they don't like. I don't care about that. Okay, about that. So you pay attention to red flags, so they telling you what they don't like, and then all of a sudden they giving you them looks like they your parent. Like when you done said something wrong, they giving you a look like you better not stop. Wrong answer. Don't threaten me. That's a threat. Don't threaten me. That's a red flag. That's a red flag. Like when they get like, and I know you can identify with me with this. When I say something they don't like, they get quiet. Yeah. They get quiet because they don't know how to respond to me just yet to let me know that dog ain't hunting. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? That's a red flag. Because once you get used to me, you're going to cuss me out. You're going to do something. I don't know. You might try to choke me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it's a red flag.
Yeah, it is.
So you have to pay attention to all of that stuff in the beginning. And if it makes you feel uncomfortable, 9 times out of 10, the relationship is uncomfortable.
And that's the thing. Like, I'm in the best relationship I have ever had. You know, 20-some years we've been together. But I still have effects of old relationships. You know, like my very first relationship. You know, when you was getting hit and you don't know why, because you're so young, you don't know, and it still affect me. That's why I'm sorry. You know, excuse me. You know, it goes back to that sometimes, just knowing how weak you were at that time. You know, someone hit you just because you knock on the door, or they you know, slap you just because you look at them, you know, or they think that it's cool the way that the blood comes down the side of your mouth. You know what I mean? I didn't realize how weak I was then, and I continued to stay, you know, until I did get the strength to get out of that situation and know that that was not the relationship for me. But as you can see, it still affects me.
It wouldn't
to know
affect
how
anybody.
weak I was at that time, you know.
To know that somebody went through that, it'll affect them. It'll affect me. To know that you went through that because you didn't have anybody to correct you. You didn't have anybody to tell you this is not love.
Yeah.
This is not how you raise. See, my mother taught me love don't hurt. And when love starts hurting, it's time to go. Whether it hurt your feelings or whether it hurt you physically. Mentally or physically, love doesn't hurt like that. So it's time to go. And so I learned that. And my mother always taught me that, you know, if a person don't care enough about me to hurt me and put their hands on me, I don't need to care enough about them to put my hands right back on them or something else. You see what I'm saying? So I was raised with that, looking for those red lights, those red flags, you know what I'm saying? So if you're not taught that, you don't know to look for that. And you think it's okay, and until you realize, hold on, something ain't right here. You know what I'm saying? Because had we known you back then, he would have never done that to you. Yeah, he would have been like, he would have got whipped. I mean, he would have had a whole bunch of women whipping on that hind-paws. I'm telling you, we would have whopped him. We would have molly whopped him. I'm telling you. No, we would have dragged. I mean, by the time we got finished, I'm just saying, this is what we would have done. By the time we got finished with him, he probably would have been unidentifiable. I don't believe in domestic violence. I do not, and I definitely don't believe in the weaker sex, being a female, getting beat. Now, yes, men go through domestic violence as well. But when it comes to one of my family members, you know, back in the day when I was younger and I was out in the world and stuff like that, we would have planned on him. We would have had a whole, we would have had one of those where we sat out and watched his house.
Stakeout.
We would have we would have had a stakeout on him. And we would have followed him right up in the house. And God knows, we probably been locked up. We probably been locked up if we got caught, you know. But that's around how it would have worked, though. He wouldn't have been doing all that.
But I took that strength, and I teach my kids not to deal with, you know, like you said, love don't hurt. It's not supposed to hurt, not physically.
I mean, you get your heart broken at times, but
right.
You know, somebody just deliberately punching on you and trying to demean you, and you know you're not good enough, and nobody's gonna want you, and all that stuff. No,
I didn't heard it all.
Go through that. I wish, baby, I wish somebody would tell me some foolishness like that. Because in my mind, I do the choosing. And you know, as I got older, I don't choose that much. It's like, I'd rather just be chilling and sticking to my own business and staying focused on what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? But you can't convince me, or couldn't convince me, that didn't nobody want me. Because in my mind, because your mind is powerful. In my mind, I could have anybody I wanted to. I probably couldn't. But in my mind, I could. And, you know, you ain't going to change my mind, you know. And that's the whole thing. When you put in a person's mind their worth, and when we input our self-worth in our minds, nobody can change that. When we believe that, that's why you can see the most ugliest woman. I mean, you can see the most ugliest man, the most unattractive, let me put it that way. Because I don't mean they're ugly because they're unattractive to me. But you can see the most unattractive person, and they have so much self-confidence that you can't tell them they're not beautiful. Right. To a point where they become beautiful. Because they have convinced you with all of their confidence that they are beautiful. Come on, y'all. You got to know these things for yourself, because if you don't know it, who else going to know it? If you don't tell yourself that you're beautiful, who else going to do it? Huh? If a person know that you tear yourself down, do you know how easy it is for them to continue to tear you down? Okay? So no. I don't care how ugly I am. I don't care. I'm beautiful. Let me show y'all something. Y'all think I'm playing. I don't just be talking. What I say? You're so pretty. These are the affirmations that I write to myself. You know? Ain't nobody gonna tell me I'm not.
That's right.
It make me believe it. I laugh at them. Back in the day, I used to probably slap them, but today, I just laugh at them. You know what I'm saying? I'm old. You know, when you get old, you can't be putting your hands on people. You get old, you get slow, you get weak, and all that stuff. All that fighting and stuff is out the door at some point. I mean, you might have one good fight left. But you got to save that for the attackers.
Right.
You can't just be walking around and trying to put your hands on people, you know, when you get old. You know, you got to talk real nice, baby, honey, sugar.
Sugarfoot.
You know, you do all that good stuff when you get around my age, over 40, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, in your mind, you still can go, but them little young kids get faster, like you used to be, you know? So you probably, like I said, you might got one more in you, but you never know which one it's going to be. You hate to be laying out in the street because you done talk your tail up a butt whipper. I'm going to be an old lady, and that's all I'm going to be, an old lady. But, you know, I'm still going to be pretty. And even when my hair turned gray, because I don't use anything on my hair, praise God, not yet. I don't use anything to cover up gray. I don't have any gray. I got like a couple strands that you really can't see. This right here, when I put water in my hair this morning, then made it look real thin and stuff like that. But I'm not gray yet. But when I get gray, I'm going to embrace it. You know, I'm going to embrace it. But you still ain't going to be able to tell me I ain't fine. Still ain't. Yeah. You ain't got nothing to say?
No, I just say learn to love yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I had to learn to love myself, and I'm still learning. But I'm loving me more and more each day. So
That's sweet.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. You know, and everybody don't get it when they're young. Everybody don't get it growing up. Everybody don't understand that you have to love yourself. Right. And so it's never too late to learn. Stand in that mirror like my mama used to make me. And talk to yourself and tell yourself how pretty you are. And tell yourself that you can be anything that you want. And then focus on that. Focus on that mission. Don't let nobody take you off your game. You'll have somebody come and tell you. You'll have somebody come and tell you that you're nothing. You'll have somebody come and tell you you'll never own that business. But guess what? They're just hating because they have no ambition, or they don't want you to be where they are. You know, I had somebody tell me that they don't believe in me. They don't think I'm ready. You don't even know me. You knew me my whole life, but you don't know me. You see what I'm saying? And now y'all understand that that's a possibility for somebody to know you for your whole life, but they haven't been in your life your entire life, and they don't know you. Don't let somebody tell you what you can and cannot do, especially someone who don't know you. He didn't know me to tell me that, because he didn't even know how close he was to getting punched in the face. If you knew me, you would have known that I would punch you and anything that looked like you in your face. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not preaching violence. I'm just saying, if you knew me, you at that time, you would have known that I had anger management issues that I had to deal with. And you know how I dealt with my anger management issues? I dealt with my anger management issues through the Word of God. See, everybody can't do that, so don't get it twisted. You might need professional help. But I was able to deal with mine through the Word of God. I was able to understand that He told me not to get angry, because when you get angry, you do things that you should not do. You see what I'm saying? So I was able to control myself with that. But if you knew me, you would know, don't say too much to me, because I did have an issue. So don't let people make you think they know you better than you know yourself. You don't know my story. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know how I'm living, what I'm thinking, what I'm hating on, what I'm going through. Just like I don't know what you're going through. That's why I always try to treat people with kindness. And sometimes kindness bites you in the tail. Because that's when the manipulation starts. That's when people start pushing their agenda on you, because you're trying to be kind to them, and all they want to do is use you. So really, 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 really be careful. Pay attention. Stay focused on you. Be selfish for you first. Then be selfless. Now, I'm not talking about trying to get monetary things and all that stuff, houses and all that stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about be selfish on what your mission and your goal is, what God has planned for you. You got to finish your process. You have to go through the process, and you can't stop your process to your blessing by trying to help somebody else that only want to use you. That's what I mean by being selfish for you. Okay? And staying focused on what it is that you have to do. Listen, it has been a pleasure talking with you, expressing with you, trying to encourage you and also myself throughout life. But we're going to let you go on this count, and we're going to see you on next Sunday. Should be around the 2 o'clock hour. All right, remember, God loves you. I love you. Make sure that you love yourself. Go on and love someone else once you love yourself. You cannot love me if you don't love you. Okay? You love yourself, love someone else properly. Till we shall meet again, may you have everything that your heart desires.